is the health and safety of players, officials, and coaches in any return-to-play scenario. In the pro ranks, reports indicate that former Carolina Panthers quarterback Cam Newton could wait until teams resume physical activity before signing with an NFL team. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler reporting the market for the 31-year-old has cooled over the last month, so he may wait until teams are allowed to return to the field following the coronavirus pandemic so they can see him work out. Speaking of returning to the field, that's what England's elite sports are allowed to do beginning Monday. Guidance from the government came down today saying that sports could return to play provided there are no spectators and they comply with government safety regulations. With your sports 5 and 35 past the hour, only on Fox News Headlines 24/7. I'm Ryan Mayer.
Thanks, Ryan. New York City's mayor is calling for protests in his city to remain peaceful after last night's demonstrations saw hundreds of arrests. I've got details ahead on Fox News Headlines 24/7, Sirius XM 115.
Songs that define the 90s. They're all hits, but there can only be one. Number one. Billboard's Top 500 Songs of the 90s. Starting tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, Channel 30, and on the Sirius XM app.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. We started the timeshare cancellation industry over 10 years ago because we were sick and tired of seeing good people lied to. We were the first, we remain the largest. What makes us better? Our employees.
My name is Lauren Gray. I'm the timeshare team manager. It's incredible to think that over 300 timeshares, 300 different methods we have to master. That's experience, the assurance that this is going to be done right, that we have your back no matter what the timeshare company throws at you.
Today we have over 200 employees and have saved our clients an average of $65,000 in lifetime payments. Imagine putting those timeshare dollars back in your pocket. Give my office a call today. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we will cancel your timeshare contract or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free information kit. 800-939-1331. 800-939-1331. 800-939-1331.
It's the campaign with Rick Baker.
As the president continues to deal with both the coronavirus and his re-election campaign, last week's Fox News poll gave us a snapshot. Former Vice President Joe Biden opening up an 8-point lead. From the Fox News decision desk, we have Director Arnon Mishkin.
I think what the poll suggests is that you see much greater growing support for Joe Biden from the previous poll, which had it tied 42-42. I think one of the most interesting numbers that seem to be different from the previous poll is, interestingly enough, black vote. Later on, you want to look very close to the battleground states. At 8 points, you know that there is the chance that a lot of battleground states, which ought to be going for Donald Trump, might not be. Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, the ones that counted last time, Arizona, and also North Carolina and Georgia.
You can hear more of this series at foxnewspodcast.com or wherever you download podcasts. I'm Brett Baer. We'll see you next time.
Shots fired into a parked car in Detroit Friday night killed a 21-year-old man, one of 3 people inside that vehicle. It happened as dozens of people protesting the death of George Floyd clashed with police near the city's Germantown Entertainment District. A police spokeswoman says police officers were not involved in that shooting. The victim was pronounced dead at a nearby hospital. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio addressing protests that turned violent in his city, sparked by the death of George Floyd while in Minneapolis police custody. The mayor saying he supports the right to demonstrate, but what happened in Brooklyn Friday night is unacceptable.
New York City honors the right to protest. The NYPD has protected protesters for generations of every point of view and done it well. But some protesters last night came with an agenda of violence and incitement, and they meant to harm police officers, and they did harm police officers.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo echoed that sentiment.
Lose the point by the violence in response. And it allows people who would choose to scapegoat to point to the violence rather than the action that created the reaction.
Both the mayor and the governor are speaking about the nationwide protest at their regular coronavirus briefings. Protests and riots breaking out in Atlanta, Georgia, with looting. Mark Teichner, who is with Fox 5 in Atlanta, reports.
The governor has issued a state of emergency. They have every police officer that they can muster to try to make sure that they can keep the peace. However, this was a completely out of control situation last night. Atlanta police still trying to assess how many people were arrested.
Georgia's governor declared a state of emergency early today to activate the National Guard in that state. A judge has ruled that Arizona doesn't have to publicly reveal the number of coronavirus cases and deaths among residents of nursing homes and other long-term facilities in that state. A judge sided with the administration of Republican Governor Doug Ducey, which had argued the information is private under several state provisions. The lawsuit was filed by the Arizona Republic and 4 TV stations who argued that information would help the public evaluate which nursing homes and long-term care facilities are indeed safe. It is 42 minutes past the hour. Let's get a check on your business news.
Shutdowns and fraud. I'm Ginny Cosillo with the Fox News Headlines Business Update. The coronavirus shutdowns have turned into fraud and phishing opportunities for criminals. The Wall Street Journal says there's been a big jump in attempted credit and debit card fraud, with the amount of money involved in fraudulent transactions up 35% in April from a year ago. Fidelity National Information Service says fortunately, most of the fraudulent transactions were caught before they hit cardholders' accounts. Phishing attempts to trick you into handing over information are rising. The fraud uses phone calls, emails, or texts to get your card information. All this is happening while card companies and banks are swamped with phone calls from borrowers looking for a break on their monthly payments. Business news twice an hour on Fox News Headlines 24/7. I'm Ginny Cosola.
Thanks, Ginny. As we told you a little bit earlier, the SpaceX capsule carrying the NASA astronauts has launched. It has reached its orbit on its way to the International Space Station. We will have more updates coming up on that in just a few moments. There are more calls for peaceful protest by city leaders across the country. We'll have details on that, too, in our top stories on Fox News Headlines 24/7, Sirius XM, Channel 115.
Every season of Duck Dynasty coming June 1st on Fox Nation. Right now, get 25% off for the purchase of any Patriot plan.
If you're a business owner with salespeople, how in the world could you say no to this offer? To top 20% of your salespeople close 80% of the business. 80% of all sales are closed after the 5th attempt, and 83% of all salespeople don't even ask for the sale once. Did you know that 90% of all salespeople have never even read one sales book? How many sales are being lost each month? Simply because your salespeople are not professionally trained how to sell. Hi, this is the world's top sales trainer, Jason Evans. I'm going to give you a free 45-minute video of pure sales training techniques that will increase your company's sales within days, guaranteed. This could double, even triple your company's sales. This video is closing, handling objections, and more. Just call us and leave us a voicemail, their email address, and we'll send you this amazing video for free.